Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our stream after a long break from the previous season. I think season 6 was the previous season, and we are in season 7 now. This is our tier 2 race, and this is the first race, and we are going to the Temple of Speed. That's Monza. A big mix up, and we have obviously moved to the new game that's out. That's F1 2021. A lot of question marks that will be answered today, definitely about the game, and it's going to be a definitely new experience for all of us. In the commentary box, I'm joined by Deepak, who's going to commentate with me. I'm Harry Rocks 24, and today we'll be having the stream by Evil Dog. So let's move on to the track video immediately to get a glimpse of the track. Well, Temple of Speed, what can I say? A lot of long straights, bunch of chicanes, to be honest, and it's an amazing track. A little bit of elevation change, obviously, and yeah, you spend almost 80% of the lap on full throttle, and we'll be seeing a few good overtakes, really good overtakes over the past few seasons. Rambo going down the inside, touching a bit of the grass, dives down the inside of BK19 and breaks a lot later, gets the move done very well. Well, some incidents as well, obviously. Shivam almost turned into, but then that was a tricky moment for the drivers over there. Nirma makes a good move down the inside of Lesmo 1, makes a move on BK19. Well, we do not have Nirma this season, but yes, we'll definitely miss him on the grid. Cryptid, a championship contender in the previous season. And yeah, that was a good move from him on Faiza, and he made the move into the entry of Ascari. And yeah, those are a few great moves we've seen over the past few seasons. So we'll be moving on to the lobby in a bit. In the meantime, Deepak, what do you think about the race today? How excited are you for the season?
Well, I mean, this is a very exciting start. We have a lot of questions, a lot of unknowns ahead of us, and that's always very exciting. And we are kind of starting off where we left. If you remember, season 6 finale was in Monza, so I think it's kind of poetic to start from here. And like I always say, Monza doesn't disappoint. It always provides good action, be it good racing or be it chaos, be it whatever. It always doesn't fail to entertain. So yeah, I'm looking forward to a really good race today.
Yep, absolutely. We also have Moto, who's the fast boy on the controller, but now I think he's made a switch to the wheel. Not sure what he's going to be racing with, but yeah, we also have him in the com box. And hi, Moto, what do you think about Monza?
Yes, it's a very fast-paced circuit, isn't it? With lots of straights and hard braking zones. So we could certainly see a testament to the driver's skill level in braking into the multiple chicanes that are there placed around the circuit.
Absolutely. I mean, you're going to be averaging about 350 kilometers per hour at this circuit, if I am not wrong, if my facts are not wrong, and that's a lot of speed. And yeah, in real life, it takes a lot out of the engines in terms of life, yes. But then again, it's all about top speed and a lot of that heavy braking, like you mentioned. So in the game,
absolutely, with the changes in the game's braking as well compared to the last game, we could definitely see multiple lockups into turn 1 as well.
Yeah, that is something that we actually want to touch upon, because in this game, the rear lockup is very prominent in this one, unlike the previous games. So we could actually see some people going very late on the brakes and getting caught out by that as well. So yeah, that's another interesting aspect to watch out for.
Well, definitely. And yeah, Evil Dog, go ahead. Yeah, sure, we can. We'll have a look at the hot lap as well.
All right then, Monza, the Temple of Speed. The lap begins coming off the final turn, hurtling down towards turn 1. 330 kilometers an hour into the braking zone at the Variante Rettifilio, braking just before the 100-meter board, generously cutting the inside curve while remaining vigilant for the sausage curves on the inside of turn 2. Important to not lose too much traction on the exits of the chicanes around Monza, as it's all about carrying as much speed as possible, so expect a lot of short shifting. Coming now to the Seconda Variante della Roggia, 100-meter board again on the right-hand side. Cut the inside, but again be wary of the ever-present sausage curves, which can derail your lap. We proceed to the two Lesmos, which is all about commitment and trusting the downforce of the car as you chuck in with minimal braking to carry as much momentum onto the back straight as possible. DRS open again as we hurtle towards the most challenging part of the track, the final variante. As Scary, important to carry lots of speed on entry and keep throttle pinned 100 meters on the right hand side. Turn in and brace for that exit curve, hoping it doesn't unsettle the car and end your lap or your race prematurely. Only one corner left now, the unassuming Parabolica, a visceral, fast right-hander that venomously tightens, meaning drivers will have to be on their toes as they come across the line for yet another high-paced, thrilling lap around the Monza circuit.
Well, that was definitely a fast lap from Ripe. He is on the keyboard, if I'm not wrong. But then again, I guess the only issue I had in that lap, I think it is a little tough for him to take that turn, obviously. But the exit of Ascari, taking that inside curve, definitely proved costly because he went quite a bit wide over there. But I'm sure he'll be much faster now, considering the practice that's gone into today's race. I think he's there in today's race, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, I think he's on the grid for today's race.
Yep. So he will be driving for Williams today. Yes, he will be joined by Alphabot, who is his fellow Tier-3 competitor from last season. And yes, they were some fast boys. And yeah, Ripe definitely had a tough season, not gonna lie, because of being new to the game and getting in terms of racing wheel to wheel and all of that. But I guess he's become a much more mature driver, and we'll see how it goes today. It's gonna be fun to watch for sure, considering it's a new game and everyone's on untrodden ground and unexplored ground. So it's gonna be very interesting to see how it goes and how the skill levels get changed and how the tables get turned on certain drivers.
Absolutely. And let's not even take it away from his teammate Alphabot, who has been putting in a lot of hours into this new game, who's also increased his pace drastically. So it could be a team to look out for.
Well, absolutely. Williams is going to be a little fast, I'm sure. Alphabot, like you said, a lot of pace and a lot of potential in that team. But nonetheless, let's see what other teams we can look out for today. We've got Mercedes, who have Warhammer, and if I'm not wrong, a new driver called Yash, who's there in the team, and he's doing his first season. It's his debut season and debut race in IRC, and it's going to be fun to watch this pairing. And Warhammer has shown that he has a lot of pace. In fact, at certain times he was able to match Tier 1 pace in last year's Tier 2 grid, the few races that he attended. So yeah, that's an interesting driver lineup to look out for. Red Bull have both the Abis in it. One of them is Abi 20 from last season. He was also in Tier 2 in the McLaren, if I'm not wrong. He was the teammate of Deepak. So Deepak, any views on Abi 20?
Well, yes, he is actually a very fast driver. So I'm really interested to see how well he has honed his skills and how much he has improved. But yeah, he's definitely on the up, I would say.
Well, that's going to be an interesting driver lineup as well. Both the Abis, Abi squares, power, how it goes into Red Bull. Some young guns definitely over there. McLaren have Solo and Avi gone rogue. Avi has always been with us in the last season, throughout the season actually. He's a fast driver, definitely a little late on the brakes at certain times, and yes, he's brave on the brakes basically. Solo is a new driver again, a debut driver in IRC, first season, first race, and he did have a lot of pace in the little bit of unranked sessions and practice races we had over the past week. It's going to be interesting to see how that McLaren team does, and being a fellow McLaren driver this season, I'm definitely going to be rooting for them. And then Ferrari, well, they're at home. They've got Aaron and Shivam. So, well, we saw Shivam getting kind of turned into in the first, in the Della Rosia chicane in the track video, the ones of showing a few of the overtakes and incidents. And I think, yeah, he also has a lot of pace. He's again on a steep learning curve in the previous season. He came towards the tail end of the season. It's going to be interesting to see how he does. And Aaron, as we all know, he has shown a lot of pace. Again, he did not take part in majority of the races last season, but the few races he took part in, he was definitely up there in the top 5, showing his pace and showing some good pace. And it's going to be interesting to see that as well. Alpine have the Banat and Freeman. Well, Banat is again a debutant. We have a lot of debutants this season, to be honest, and that's going to be interesting because we are all on unknown grounds. We do not know how all of them drive, and it's going to be interesting to see how they perform. But we can't tell the same of Freeman because he's a veteran in this community, and he's been there since season 1, and he's won 2 constructor championships with in 2 different seasons, and one of them was with our very own Marinello baby, I presume. And yeah, he's definitely going to have a lot of pace to show, and we'll have to wait and watch how it goes for him as well. It was a tough season 5 for him, but he took a break in season 6, and now he seems to have a lot of pace as well. It's going to be interesting to see how he does. AlphaTauri have Electrip and Satwik. Electrip, as we all know, again, our OG streamer. He's always been there to help us with streams, but today he's going to be on track and he's going to be driving for AlphaTauri.
I'm in Alfa Romeo.
Well, I'm sorry to say, corrected. I stand corrected. So he's going to be in Alfa Romeo. Then I talk about his teammate, Rambo. That's a fast pairing for today. So, Electrip, are you a reserve?
Yes, I am a reserve driver.
Well, it's lucky that you were here, or else I would have called you a permanent driver. So, well, we have Electrip who is driving and is also in the comm box. So, don't know how it's going to go for him today, but I hope we're not going to keep disturbing you, sir. In the meantime, we have Alpine. Sorry, I finished Alpine. We have Satwik and AlphaTauri. He's also another fast and OG IRC driver. Aston Martin has Monk and Violent Gandhi, and Haas has Dwajan and Ruker. And Dwajan, as we all know, a lot of pace in the previous season. Ruker as well showed some pace. The Tier 3 grid was a lot of surprises last season and a lot of changes in, what do we say, the top 3 contenders for the championship. It was going up and down, and then in the ending stages, I think it became more of an ultimatum, and we got the answers we were looking for.
Yeah, we already have 1 retirement.
Apparently, the lobby is supposed to be restarted. We just got news on that, so yeah.
Well, 2021
And
has
so it
already
begins.
Yes, absolutely. The lobby has already some kind of technical issues, but I think we did see a struck Merc of Warhammer out of Parabolica, and he seems to have lost his front right wheel and suspension and his front wing. But again, that's going to be defunct and unnecessary information because we're going to restart. So we have 17 drivers on the grid today. Little away from full grid, obviously, but yeah, it's going to be nonetheless exciting to watch. In the meantime, we'll just wait for the lobby to be restarted, and we'll also see a few of the lap times these guys are able to put in for us. Maybe
We have Ripe doing a 123.5, which is mounted by Avi doing a 121.7. So, Harry, what lap times are you expecting around Monza over here?
well, if I've got to be honest, I am more in the question mark zone because on time trials, people were able to do 190s and early 120s. Late 119s and early 120s. So I'm expecting it to be in the 120s, mid 120s, and that would probably be our pole position, mid 120s.
Interesting,
So,
yes. As we wait for the lobby to be restarted.
And an update on the lobby, restarted.
And speaking of all the problems with F1 2021, this season, the eval races, we found a lot of glitches with safety cars. So, yeah, that aspect of the strategy has been removed. So, no safety cars. How do you think that will impact the racing, Harry?
Well, like I said, I was part of one of the practice races we had. We tried it, in fact, on the very same track, Monza, and yeah, it was a little bit of issues, and definitely the safety car caused a lot of issues, and yes, the glitches are natural, and I guess it will get sorted. We just need to keep faith and race on.
Yep.
Because the enthusiasm's obviously high, irrespective of how the game performs and irrespective of how people talk. We know that everyone wants to get behind the wheel, get their heads down, and have some nice feisty battles on track. Maybe a few wheel banging moments as well, obviously. So it's going to be
But it's interesting, as Deepak had pointed out, that because the safety car will not be run for the early stages of the season, could we see drivers, backing off a bit at the starting opening laps, a bit more clean racing?
Absolutely.
I think that could improve clean racing, like you said, because previously we had that one little wildcard element over there. Like, so if you could fall back, you could like ride on the safety car and get something out of it.
Yeah, it was a free get out of jail card, but now they
we
don't have that.
Yep. The randomness is gone, so it's all on you right now. So it's gonna be a bit interesting to see how the racing goes on for this.
Definitely, actually, if you thought it, if I think about it now, give it some thought. I've been quite lucky with some of the safety cars last season specifically, because I was nowhere in the contention to be good. I was off pace a lot in Tier 2, but then a few moments with the safety car around, and I was able to pull out a rabbit out of the hat. And also thanks to some brilliant race engineering from my Tier 1 teammate Amit last season in the Haas. So yeah, without that safety car element, it is going to be more of pure pace racing and strategy calls, good strategy calls. But again, it's not a permanent setting for the rest of the season. It's just right now, for the sake of safety, we have kept it off. Safety car is being off for the sake of safety of the lobby. So that's
How ironic.
Yeah, that's the biggest irony we've seen so far.
Absolutely. I hope Codemasters gets it sorted, or else I'm going to start crying every race for sure.
Yeah, I think some drivers will be relieved that the VSE is also not there, like, because you know how VSEs impact. I mean, I've been at the short end of the stick several times in the VSE.
I mean, there have been countless times where I've completely ignored the delta and gotten so many drive-through penalties. So
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's definitely going to be there. I mean, it's going to be quite interesting to see how it goes.
absolutely.
Wanted to bring another topic onto the table. We had qualifying in the real life F1 season today in Sochi. How was qualifying for you guys?
Well, that was definitely an intense session, and I would say like kudos to Russell for like going on slicks. Like there's so much talk like who will go on slick first, but then Russell was like, okay, prepare the slicks. I'm going.
Yeah,
on.
Russell certainly was the catalyst for all the other teams to follow suit.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Even
That
then, like times are not improving, and even we were like, okay, this is a bad call. But then out of a sudden, Sainz puts up a purple middle sector, and the lap times just start tumbling down.
I think that that first lap was crucial to get the heat into the tires. Otherwise, it would not have been possible.
Yeah, of course.
Absolutely. Like the commentators were pointing out to us in the real life quali session, they needed in those particular conditions with the slicks, that's the soft tires, the red wall tires, they needed 2 laps to get it up to temperature, and the third lap would be their best or optimal lap is what they were telling. And I think only a couple of drivers on the slicks, or two to three drivers on the slicks, were able to get that optimal lap, being the third lap of running on those slick tires. The rest of them had to do it on their second lap. But nonetheless, I think Norris was one of those guys who had to get it on the second lap. I could be corrected if I'm wrong, but then that was a brilliant lap from him to put it on pole. And Hamilton, well, no one else to blame but himself today, I guess. He definitely would have had the lap time to get onto pole if not for that front wing mix-up on the entry to the pit lane.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
he definitely would have.
Seems like the pressure is getting to him for this
But
season.
still, I wouldn't really count him out because, in Russia, the front row is not always a good place to start. The toe and the slipstream is the biggest point over there.
Absolutely. We
if
saw
you-
in
you
2018
never count him
where
out.
the
Yeah.
Ferraris were switched around. Or 2019 was it?
It was in
It was
2019.
2019.
Yes, absolutely.
That was a
Where Vettel got
controversial.
such a powerful toe that he didn't have a choice but to overtake.
Yes,
Yes.
that's we've got a lot of opinions about that particular strategy call, or the pre-race, agreement between the two Ferrari drivers of taking a tow, giving places to each other, and all of that. And again, it's a big question mark as to what would have been the right thing to do, or was what happened correct or not, because at the end of the day only Leclerc finished the race on that event, and Sebastian ended up having an engine issue, if not a spark plug issue, if I'm right.
And famously quoted, "Bring back the V12s."
Absolutely.
Okay, let's not go down that rabbit hole. We don't want a fight breaking out in the comment section. So let's just stop it over there.
I mean,
For the sake of the sanity of our audience.
I think sanity over some good action in the chat box is. I think it's a very nice balance to put out. It's better to have an active chat box than be.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always fun to
be
rile up the
diplomatic.
viewers, isn't it?
Absolutely. So it's going to be interesting to watch. And well, I think we are going into the new lobby. We have a few people already into the lobby. We're going to be waiting on the rest of the grid to join and probably ready up. The Muck boys haven't joined, definitely. We don't have one of the Haas boys in. So yeah, we'll be waiting on them. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. And I think the session forecast in the previous lobby showed that it's going to be dry throughout. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I did not have a look at the weather forecast, but yeah, I don't know.
I might have missed it, but all said and done, now there's a chance it might be wet, so...
Well, we'll have to wait and watch, because usually if there's a lobby restart, they stick to the original.
Yeah, they stick to the
conditions
previous
that
weather
they
Oh,
conditions.
is that
Yep.
so?
Well, we'll have to see. I mean, it was too early to put in that clause. So let's see if it really is going to be that way, or if they're going to just, let the weather gods decide.
Yeah.
Because of wet
Speaking
Monza.
of weather conditions, like if you remember last season, Tier 3, like those guys were literally put through heaven and hell through rain, and like every single week it was like rain prediction for them. Like,
And on the other end of the spectrum, Tier 1 was absolutely bone dry.
bone dry, yep.
Absolutely.
So which tier do you think will have such a luck this season? Like any predictions?
Well, we do have 3 grids even this season. Just that 2 of them are on the 21 game, and one of them is on the 20 game, if I'm not wrong. And well, I'm expecting the 20 game to have a similar season of a lot of wet and dry mix up, because historically Sundays have been the wet races, if you notice, in 2020.
That is true.
Tier 2 and Tier 3 both were on Sundays, and it used to have a lot of weather changes, and Tier 3 used to have the most. Tier 2 was a little bit on the
Tier
lower.
2, I think we had some wet qualies, and only one race was wet. I remember it was France, but yeah,
Well,
Tier
we did
3
have a
was.
few wet races. I mean, if I'm not wrong, what was that
Hungary,
race?
wasn't it?
Yeah, there
was
was
fully
Hungary. There was
wet.
even Austria. Austria was wet, moving towards dry, variable conditions basically.
Haha.
The only race I was able to get a podium on. That was such a fluke. Even today, I
Yeah.
can't believe I got it. But yeah,
Don't
sorry for
question
being
it.
biased.
Don't question it.
So
Just don't
yeah,
question it. Take it and be like, okay, I got it. That's it.
yes, absolutely. I guess luck plays a lot of.
I mean,
lot
we
of-
all know the best drivers are usually the ones who are the luckiest as well. So.
Never
Well,
question when the
nice.
life gives you a boon. So
I like that shade. I like that shade, Moto. I got that. Let's not name anything unless we want to become controversial as well now.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Sure thing.
nice
Yeah.
dots there.
Mafia wants to know your location. Oh, well,
So, guys, thoughts on pole position? Who do you think is going to snatch it?
well, if I can go first, it's gonna be very tough to call it because of the number of debutants we have this season. But if I ignore the debutants, I want to root for my ex-Ferrari teammate Freeman, because he definitely needs a good result. He needs that motivation to start building up. I don't want to see him having a bad day today. It will be really nice to see him jump up and probably get a pole, or maybe a front row start and a good finish, a strong finish.
Absolutely. He's one of the cleanest drivers I've raced with in Season 5, and he's back on controller, I think, and he's got some of his pace back, so he could be one to look out for.
absolutely. And we also know that this game is somewhat of a controller haven. So I don't know. I'm not 100% sure if these
It
things are
has
right.
been much more optimized for controller, I would say.
It is a simcade after all. You gotta make it accessible to every player out there.
Codis, we want to know your location soon, Moto.
But yeah, speaking of pool, like Harry said, there are a lot of unknown quantities today. We never know who might surprise us. But yeah, I would say it's either going to be Freeman or Warhammer. Either two of them will be my predictions for pool.
Well, out of the debutants, I think I will pull out Solo out of the bag because the pace I saw that he was able to showcase in one of the practice races was quite good. It wasn't. I wouldn't say it was amazing, out of the world, but yes, he's new, so one race doesn't really define him. But he did have some good pace, and probably he would be my top, rookie driver. I can't really call him a rookie, but I can call him a debut driver today. So we'll have to wait and watch how it goes.
Yep.
Finally, we're going into another new lobby session now.
It's been 84 years.
Well. 21 has already struck. It's 21 1 and IRC 0, I think, at this point in terms of stream. Huh. Well, I don't know if the weather predictions will really be up at this point, but we can get an insight on it further down the time. I'll see if I can get some info on that for sure. But yeah, we have the drivers all there. They'll slowly start going on their banker laps probably, or I don't know if the enthusiasm's really high. They might start doing flying laps from the get-go.
Another thing to note is it's Monza, the Temple of Speed, the two massive straights in the circuit. Do you think anyone's going to go for a tow?
Well, good question. I am not going to have too much expectations because from my past experience over 2 seasons, getting a tow is such a headache. If you do not time it correctly, you'll either end up, putting
impeding your teammate, or
absolutely, you'll either end up impeding your teammate or you'll end up impeding someone else in the.
Or you'll be the one who ends up getting impeded. Like,
exactly.
You'll catch up to the car ahead very quick, and you can't really act upon it. So.
And you could be causing problems to the other drivers around you as well. It's kind of hard to sort it out in the game.
That's a very good skill to have, I would say, figuring out a tow. But yeah.
Evil Dog had something to say. Go ahead, Evil.
Talking about the tow, we have both the Red Bulls out.
Oh, that's interesting.
Both the Abbeys out together.
Both the meme dream team.
Or the commentator's nightmare team.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god, these guys. Well, we have seen again historically, statistically, that we commentators have a lot of power in how the race results are. I'm not telling about how we go and influence it, but I'm talking about the commentators' curse. Definitely, we have some strong words to put in, and we put some curses throughout the past few seasons.
Sometimes a bit too strong for the driver's liking. As we have an Alpine of Freeman.
And
a driver who we were mentioning already having some problems.
Okay, I think it's already started to take effect.
Oh, I think there was some contact.
Oh my god.
My god. That was
that
guys, I think you should calm down.
It was Solo.
Qualifying.
Yeah, that was Solo.
Solo got taken out by an Aston, but I am not sure which Aston. It was either Monk or Violent Gandhi, but
I think it's the Aston in front of. Yeah, I think it's Violent Gandhi who's one coming together with the Alpine.
Yeah,
the McLaren.
It was a McLaren. It was a McLaren of Solo, but I hope that was a genuine mistake or irresponsible driving, because if it looks like a lobby desync, and if that is the case, oh my god.
Let's not jinx it.
Let's not.
As we go on board with a lap
that.
with Abhi. Not Abhi 20, but just Abhi.
Just Abhi, yeah. That's gonna be his name.
Well, the other Abhi has an IRC in front of his name, so that could be easy for us to differentiate between the two drivers.
That's a good point.
takes the curbs aggressively in De La Rogia, and I think the curbs on this game, I wanted to talk about that. The curbs on this game is not as forgiving as it was in the previous game. You cannot just abuse the curbs for track limits and take as much of pace out of the corners and open the corners up in entry and go wide, get on the throttle early on exit. And again, the cars in this game are understeery as well.
That's a lovely camera angle right through the halo there.
Yeah.
As he enters Parabolica, braking around the 50-meter board just before it. Want to maximize the track here, but stick to the inside for a shorter run. As he
He
sticks to
kind
the
of washed
outside.
out a little bit to the outside, but still
It's a
decent lap.
121.0. It's a pretty competitive lap time there for a banker.
Well, like I said, these guys want to hit the ground running for sure.
Yeah,
Both the
almost
Red Bulls up
three
there.
and a half times faster than his teammate.
Well, I'm sure these are all banker laps. These are not the individual drivers' fastest laps. They must be getting a hold, and it looks like overcast conditions. So
Absolutely. So tire temps will be an issue here.
yes, it will be an issue, and also it might.
As we see a Red Bull go off track.
P20
He
and
has-
both the Red Bulls are off track.
Yeah. So if you can see in the left corner top, one Red Bull is already out. Abhi.
It's
that
the.
Just
Oh.
Abhi.
It seems he's crashed right after
De La
the.
Rogia,
It's
the
a
entry
very
of De La
weird
Rogia.
place to go out. Wonder what just happened there.
Ooh, someone's getting a good tow. Shivam in the Ferrari should be getting a good tow out of the Alpha Tauri.
We have an Ascari retirement of Alphabet. Yeah.
Well, thank you for that, Evil Dog. That's quite
If
important.
you can
to
see right side, there is the
Yep.
Alphabet.
Alphabot seems to have lost a couple of wheels on the exit of Ascari and has also retired with a very slow time of 22.3 because that definitely wasn't his fastest lap. Again, you were talking about him a lot. Nonetheless, need to pull your attention to Solo. He's gone pole. He's done a
As
21.
Burnett has abandoned his lap, I think he had made a mistake because his time is running at 130 right now. So
That must have been his end lap, in my opinion.
yeah, it could be actually.
Yep. And just as I say that, I think Violent Gandhi has gone fastest.
We have lost the 120s. Yep.
Well, that's just into the 120, and he takes the
Exactly like
exciting lines.
Maximizing all of the track and more.
Absolutely.
Taking liberties with the track limits and just like, okay, I want to go for
I
the
think
next
he's just in a hurry to get into the.
Yeah, he
as,
just wants to go prep for the next lap. And what's Solo
Oh.
doing here?
Wait a second. Can we go onboard Solo?
Yes, could
We
be.
are on board. So
Because he was going
Oh no.
Could we go to the
the
onboard camp?
opposite direction.
Can you go to the onboard camp, please?
unfortunately, we are not going. Like
And yes, I do see on the minimap he's facing the opposite way.
Oh my god, no, not this again.
And
The
it does
game-
say that his ERS has been fully deployed as he.
Yeah, now he's turning around. It's okay.
Well,
What
that
is
was
going on?
interesting. That was interesting.
It's a
I
very
wanted
interesting
to-
way to enter the pits.
Yes, absolutely. Actually, Avi is also entering the pits now. Let's see if he gets. Yes, he is gonna get held a bit. No. Well, that's surprising. Okay, so I had a similar issue in one of the practice races where I was entering the pits and then in the race, and then I see a couple of cars coming in the opposite direction to me, and I'm like, whoa, what's happening? What is happening? And
What a
then I
sight
realized
that must have been, honestly.
it definitely caught me.
we have a sector in yellow in sector 2, but we don't have a reason for that yellow.
Oh, BK19 goes a bit quiet. I think his lap is invalidated. So he has to scratch that and start all over again, I guess.
You can see the full controller steering in action there, sawing away at the wheel.
Yeah. In the meantime, Roker has set a time
So
on
Roker was on a mediums. Okay.
That will
I
be-
think he's the only medium runner out on track right now. It's an interesting call.
I don't think mediums would be a good idea in qualifying because it's really hard to
Yeah.
get temperature into this track, into the tires on this track, sorry, because of the long straights which cool down the tires so quickly.
Maybe we
That
can
is
see
true,
some
and-
action from Azim. who's having a lot of fans from the comments. If you see.
Yes, he is a known stand-up comedian who is taking part in our league, and it's really good to see such people join our league. And it's really good to see such people. Unfortunately, this lap is invalidated, but I think he will be having another go.
This is the outlap.
Outlap,
It's,
yes.
So your top three covered by an Aston, a Ferrari, and a McLaren.
Well. We're
Speaking of
definitely.
The Aston and the Ferrari incredibly close. A 1 millisecond of a gap there.
Thousands. 1,000 millisecond, my god. My god.
That
yeah.
is surely a pointer to note for the future of the season.
Definitely. And that was Shivam in the Ferrari. And yeah, there you go. Shivam has proved me wrong for calling him an okay driver to showing that he is capable of getting a pole if necessary. Both of them in the pits now, probably gonna come out for their.
As we go on board with the Banat into turn 1, braking just before the 100. Mounting the curb nicely, getting the traction down and the exit.
The clean
You
exit.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no,
Very clean exit. He's going.
Yeah, that was a very clean exit, definitely. But I'm sure he's still finding his foot in the game because he has a lot of pace. When he's confident, he's got some serious pace to look out for in Tier 2. And I'm
Absolutely,
sure
and that was a very neat line through the second chicane as well.
yeah, through the Teleroad here, that's a good exit. Used a little bit of the curve on the outside. The second lesmo was also good. Very clean lap till now, tidy lap. Surely isn't the fastest, I'm sure, because there were a few places he could have maximized his line, but his space on the track, I mean.
He's
Good.
5/10 up on the Delta in Sector 2.
Well
As
done.
he hits
Very
the
clean
Scotty
line.
as
Very
well.
clean line.
That was an amazing line
Heading
over there.
into Parabolica. This corner can make or break your lap, honestly, as he brakes just before the 50, hitting the apex and then sticking to the right-hand side to minimize the distance.
That was a nice line. Let's see where that puts him.
It's a 121.0.
That's a
The
good
top
lap,
4
actually.
are honestly extremely close here. The top 5 rather.
Absolutely.
All within
And-
the 10th.
Yeah, true. And well, that's really nice to see. I mean, well, this will show us how close it is. And Abhi's lap, just Abhi. We'll have to use some words for this, man, because telling Abhi, we are having to mention every time. I guess we'll just use.
So we can
Abhi
call
as-
Abhi just Abhi and then
You just call
20.
Abi and Abi 20. That's it.
Yeah.
That's
I
the way to
think-
go.
Thank you, boys. That's useful for me for sure. That was giving me a little bit of, I was getting a little bit of an issue where I might be confusing someone who's watching the stream. So, well, Abhi's lap time is still keeping him up there in the top 5, and well, I hope it does help his case. And if you notice, still
Solo has gone fastest.
That's
Well,
a
that's
great lap
just
by
by
the
1/10.
McLaren driver. A 10th
Yeah.
faster than P2 in the Aston. Can we go on board the Aston? I think he's on an outlap.
Yeah, he's on an
Okay,
outlap.
he's
gonna
about to
start
start
his
his
lap.
lap.
Let's go on board him and stay with him through the lap, just as he's trying to get a good exit out, going a little wide so that he gets maximum speed, top speed, by the end of the straight.
Top speed of 330.
340 Ks almost.
Yeah.
Though
I
we can
think-
see higher top speeds during the race with the added effect of DRS and slipstream.
Absolutely. And he took that first turns curve really nicely, maximized every bit of track limit over there that he could get, I guess. And well, he is definitely taking the track limit seriously. He's trying to use all the track available to him. We have
Which is very
Enzo's-
hard to do on a track like Monza because you have the gravel extremely close to the edge of the track.
Absolutely. And on top of that, the curves
On
aren't
lovely
really.
line with hooking up the inside curve to get the rotation through the second lesmo.
Absolutely. It seems to be a good lap till now. Used a lot of track. Let's see
Let's
how
see.
it goes.
Got some traffic
Oh.
up ahead.
Validated, yeah.
Well, that was unfortunate. That was
So
looking
it's
like a good
important
lap.
you hook the inside curve on a Scari, which can really help you rotate the car, but I think that was a tad bit too much.
Yeah, absolutely. That
In the
that
meantime,
looked close to.
B20 has gone P2.
Ooh, there you go.
Again, very close to the McLaren.
Dwajin
As
P3.
Dwajin puts an absolute steamer in the Haas.
Wow,
in
just look at the
P3.
top 5 times. Oh my god.
And that
This
too,
is turning
3,
out to
4 and
be
5,
an
if you
insane
see,
season
it's
ahead
only a
of
change
us.
in the last digit.
Yes, absolutely. We mentioned that. I think Moto pointed that out when they were in P1 and 2 respectively. P4 and 5.
P3,
I
4,
think.
and 5 are all within half a within
Few
10
milliseconds.
milliseconds of each other.
Yeah. Wow. This is nice. Nice quality till now. And by the way, an update on the forecast. It is an overcast conditions in the
The race.
quali, and the race is gonna be dry, completely dry,
Overcast as well, or just clear?
fully dry and clear.
Okay, so yes, they should certainly be qualifying the softs because of the tire times. As
Looks
we
like
got one right
Speedlust is
here,
going out on mediums.
and you can see the keyboard turning in action there. He's keeping it on track very well though.
Yeah.
Yes, he is, and he's put his car in a respectable P11 in terms of strategy that could help him. He could
Absolutely.
try something different, maybe with an undercut or takes a lot of the curve. And whoa, he keeps the car in a straight line. Wow, that was
Very good car
surprising.
control from him there, I must say.
Yes.
As he gets a bit squiggly on exit of the first Lesmo.
Well, when you've got binary inputs to work with, I guess you can take anything where the car is on track itself, and
Yeah.
that itself is a commendable effort from him. I'm
It
not gonna
is,
lie.
it honestly is.
If this were a full quali, then a lot of people would have been disappointed.
Oh, he gets a bit out of shape on the exit and donates the front wing to the barrier on the left.
At least his
Absolutely.
didn't completely broke off, so maybe he might have another shot.
We are running with reduced damage, is it?
Reduced damages.
Probably, yeah. But I think I don't want to put him down. I mean, he's doing excellent with the conditions that he is provided with. But again, that inside curve on the exit of Ascari is definitely a big no-no in this game. The previous game, you could take it in a particular angle and get past it really well and gain a ton of time. But it's again on the edge because you're technically bottoming out your car almost over there.
We'll
on
be
that
seeing a
sausage
lot
curve.
of incidents in Ascari.
Yes,
probably in the
Ascari
race.
is one of the corners to watch out for in the race.
True. So I guess Ripe can try to go for one more lap if he's able to get out on time.
I don't think he might. Unless
he
he
might
cuts
be
the
able to.
entire first chicane in the second one.
He might be able to just get across the line.
See, these guys wanna clip that inside curve in Ascari, and I don't know if you
It's where
really
the time
get that.
is, I mean.
Well, if that is a fact, then I guess then it's necessary. And again, it's threading the edge of car control. I think, a stable car, but well, we've not noticed it, but Shivam has done a good lap and has gone into P3. He's
One
just
Gandhi is going
200
extremely slowly, trying to get a clear piece of track probably.
probably, and some
Which could result in low tire temperatures for the McLaren behind him, who had to slow down as well.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
had to slow down extremely. Like, I mean, rather than slow down too much and.
Could we go on to the onboard lap? For one. Oh,
That was.
that was close to curtains.
Was he trying to get it over or something? I don't know. Like, I don't really know why he had to be that close to the car, but.
And he
was-
gets a bit out of shape out of the retrophilia chicane, the first one.
Yeah, that was a
Didn't
very
even
squiggly
mount
exit.
the inside curve. Yeah.
probably that would have put him off a little, and on that run
He
down
is
to
pretty
turn
tense
one.
down in the first sector. Heading into the sector 2, takes that very well actually. Braking just after the 50. You want to brake lightly here.
Yeah, I think we have
otherwise
one
you
more
can
incident in
knock.
Ascari. Hopefully we'll see in a few seconds. Sorry to cut off.
Probably you'll see that.
Yeah, BK19 is out.
Heading it.
Most probably we'll be seeing that right.
And I think he is crashed at Ascari as well.
Yep.
PK has.
Well, BK on the contrary, Violent Gandhi on the contrary, very edgy in Ascari, but then he's done a good, he's done well to not invalidate, because on the entry he made a slight steering correction because he seemed to have turned in a tad little earlier. He opened his wheel a little bit, but it goes pole. Wow.
Even with the
Wow.
mistake in sector 1, it's a pole. Provisional pole.
And it's not very far off as well. Look at the top 4 over there. They're not even...
I think Solo had missed the checkered flag.
Yeah.
Has he?
Oh.
Yes, I think
He
has.
has
Yes.
missed. He has missed it.
No, it says he's still continuing on
No,
as
he-
he makes a mess of the first chicken.
And who
The
was that
McLaren's.
alongside?
What's going on here?
Oh, some friendly fire.
yeah. Anyway,
Can we
this,
go on board, Avi?
no, this might be anyway in left. So
I think the toe for Avi was a bit too strong.
Yeah, absolutely. I think so too. I think Avi is still on a lap because there's no checkered flag next to him and it's not showing an out lap as well. So probably is on a hot lap, and he's also a fast driver. Definitely hasn't shown all the pace he has up till now. Let's just wait and watch how he does.
speedless on softs has made it to P5.
Well,
That's a nice
Ooh,
lap.
if you see the top 9, everybody is under 2.5 tenths. Oh my god.
Extremely close gaps here in tier
Up
2.
until 16, P16, it's within a second. I mean, this is brilliantly
But it's not
competitive.
like Monza, that is just insane, honestly.
Yes.
What? We saw
I want to finish.
we are seeing this again?
Oh, cars going back.
Okay, I
Oh,
think
yes.
everybody is
Avi has not done a good enough time to improve his position. And I think that is our qualifying grid for the race.
yeah, maybe
We have
the last
Rupert
one.
As
still on
Rock
a
is the
lap.
last one who's also made a mistake in his lap.
Yes, this is definitely not going to dethrone, so I don't think the quality order is going to change by any bit. I think that's the quality order for us right now, and wow.
What?
And as he does a quick
There you
U-turn.
go. There you
my
go. Code Master
My
2020
God.
has been
Oh
caught.
my god. It's gone.
Okay. Well, that's definitely the AI because the session is close to done now. No, none of the drivers are actually in control
That's
of
a
the
bit of
cars.
an extreme way to conserve your tires for the race, isn't it?
Absolutely. But that U-turn, that quick 180-degree turn would have taken some life out of the rear tires, I'm sure.
I mean, I didn't see any burnout, so it must have been something, some black
my
magic.
God save us. Well, interestingly, I need to point out, it's supposed to be a soft medium strategy if I'm not wrong. Moto, Deepak, correct me if I'm wrong.
It is, yes.
It is.
But
Well,
we,
it
we'll
can-
have to see how many softs to mediums will survive. Till then.
Exactly, because not all of these drivers in the top 10 or across the grid itself have put their fastest laps on minimal worn soft tires. They've done 2 laps on those tires at times. So, well, it's
That
going to be
is an interesting insight, honestly. We could see some late pit stops or early pit stops because of that.
Oh, a lot of
Yeah.
people using all the 3 tires. It will be interesting to see the race as well.
The safety car is off, so I don't think they'll be needing.
Yeah, the
extra
medium
steps.
strat is not definitely going to be something that you could use because, of course, the safety car is off. But man, what a quali session!
So, Harry, you want to take us to the top 10?
Sure. So, if we can go to the drivers' standings, Violent Gandhi, impressive P1.
Oh,
We will go through the grid again, no issues. But I think it was still nonetheless about quali. That was an interesting quali. The top 4 or 5 were within 500ths of each other, and that's extremely close. It's really close.
That is
And
one of the closest gaps you've seen in IRC, honestly, from
Yeah,
my
absolutely.
remembrance.
yeah, throughout the grid that too.
I
Between
thought
drivers,
last year's
different.
tier 2 was competitive, but this year's tier 2 is.
This is just on another
much
level,
more.
ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe you can go through the starting grid again.
Sure.
If you
So, Aston Martin, Violent Gandhi on P1, very good pace and good lap over there, even though he made a few mistakes in Sector 1. Solo's in P2 for the McLaren, he's locking the front row. Then he's followed by Abhi in P3, Shivam in P4, Speedless, Dwajan, the Banath, and Freeman. They've locked out the 4th row of the grid, the Alpines. We have Abhi who DNF'd in the initial stages of the quali, and he's in P9. Electrip in P10. He's a reserve, but well, that's a good showing from him. That's the top 10 for now, and we're immediately off for the race start. 5 lights on, and they're off, and away we go. And
Is this a race start or was it no formation?
This
lap?
is the
That
race
is the
start.
race
Formation
start.
lap is off, and we see one of the Alpines rear-ending the Haas car. As Solo gets a clean getaway with Electric already in P2.
Okay,
already
we've
someone
got some
spun.
chaos already in turn 1.
I think
yes,
that was
definitely. Well, oh my God. That's a
Seems
lot of
like no
front
damage.
wings and some. Yeah, no, there's a lot of front wing bits flying around, carbon fiber
Yeah,
bits
if you
flying
can
around.
see, Lals does not have left right hand side.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but has Electric already jumped to P2?
Looks like it. I think I have an answer for your question. Ooh, some spun around cars over there. 5-second penalty for Abhi for a severe collision.
His Alpha Bot is
Alpha Bot is
already
retired.
retired from the session. Has probably got a coming together in the second chicane where he's stranded.
Yeah, it
Oh,
was
there's
One
an
of the
Alpine.
cars.
There's an Alpine on the sides. I think it's Freeman. I think Freeman has had an off run.
Well, boys, at this moment, if we had the safety car, I'm going to make my point here. So we
Yes.
can't use a safety car. If we had a safety car, it would have been quite helpful because you can't really get back up to racing speed when you have a damaged car. And, well, there's going to be a lot of gaps now forming. But
Sorry to interrupt you there,
Uh,
but it seems that we had a problem with the timing boards as there's
Yeah.
still a problem
Yeah, it does.
sorting
it does.
itself out. But we
but
know that Solo
that's
isn't
not
the
glitch.
one followed by Violent Gandhi.
Oh. Oh my god, okay.
okay.
Bit of
I'm
RG-bargy
interested.
going on there between the McLaren and the Aston, which results in McLaren going out for a captaincy lap.
You're being very nice calling it just a bit of argy-bargy because damn, that was a lot of argy-bargy. I hope that was not really them racing because it looked like something else. There was definitely an issue because no one drives that way except Max Verstappen.
Hey,
Sorry.
sorry to interrupt you guys, but was the formation lap actually turned off or
Yes,
It
it's
was,
supposed to
it
be
was,
turned
it
off.
was.
like was there any
To
glitches
prevent-
in that as well?
To prevent desync issues, if I'm not wrong. I mean, if you guys can correct me there. I'm guessing.
Okay. Yeah, well, I was not aware of that. I thought the safety car was turned off, but
Yeah, I think none of us were sort of caught us out.
Yeah. I think it caught out even the drivers as well. Like you saw a lot of people were waiting as if they were going to start their formation
Exactly, the
laps.
Haas were being one of them. As I think the timetables have sorted itself out, and we have your top three in an Aston Martin, an RB20, and Dwagen, all covered within a second.
Yeah, the timing board should have sorted itself by now, but it's still messing up. Oh, we see a Mercedes going out.
Well, interesting, interesting race start and the first 3 laps of the race till now.
Time board is still a mess. Sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry,
it is.
guys.
It is still a mess.
Well, these are the tools we've been given, so
Well, usually
have
for the
to
first
make
lap it
this.
takes like this, but by the end of lap 2 or lap 3 it sorts itself out. But
yeah, that was the case with the previous
Yeah.
game, but it seems they've added a few extra laps to that in this game.
oh, this is weird, man. This is so weird. This is very confusing for us, and I'm pretty sure it's very confusing for viewers as well to see
As
who is in
Abhi
which
has
position.
retired from the session.
And that
I'm
seems out
guessing
of Lesmo
he-
too.
Yes, let's go to the exit.
Oh, Solo just luckily went through him.
Yeah, ghosting for once saved him.
Well, I want to put on a brief.
Is this car?
Okay,
It's still there.
It is ghosted. It is ghosted, but
It is
it's still
ghosted, but
there.
it hasn't disappeared yet.
that's scary. That's a lot of guts to go through that. With a
Yeah.
pla- oh,
And
he's lost
it is
his
gone
time.
now.
But yeah, I want to really point out what really happened in that first lap, the race start actually. I think 4 drivers had the lights go off a little earlier than the others, probably a second earlier. And that caused them to start. If we noticed, right, some people going off.
Yeah,
little
yeah,
earlier.
yeah. That was a very
Yes,
decent start.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And yeah, that looked a little different, but we'll have to wait and watch if the coordinators have anything to talk about it, if we have a restart or not, or anything like
As
that.
the timing boards have a mind of their own.
we-
As
Yeah,
Electric
Electric
is also
has
retired
retired.
from the session.
I think there is a
Lobby
robbery
restart?
start.
I think it
Another one?
might be.
Yep,
Because
looks like
Electric
it.
is
Oh,
waving at the fans.
yeah. I'll be right back. I'll get some information on this.
Yep, yep. We are all in the blind here, so some information definitely helps. Okay, looks like people are leaving the session and retiring, so I think it might be a restart. Let's see what the coordinators are up to do.
Well, you are all correct because it is a lobby restart, and strike 2. So it is 2021 2 and IRC nil at this
Well,
point.
third time's a charm. So.
We'll
Well,
have to
the
wait and
coordinators
watch.
have made a right decision in my choice because I was very, very scrappy start, and you don't always want to do your races with starts like that. So yes,
Absolutely.
it's the right
It was
decision.
very chaotic in all the wrong ways.
Absolutely, not gonna lie.
Was it another desync issue, if I'm not wrong?
Yeah, so there were a few desync issues because we saw the incident between Solo and Violent Gandhi, if you noticed, and Solo was tossed around like a pinball, if we noticed that as well. Two cars went and pinned him around. So definitely a desync. They did not see him over there apparently. And the race start itself, 4 cars lights went out early for them on their screens, so they saw stalled cars around them and they got confused. So there was a lobby bug.
I think the writing was on the wall when we saw cars going backwards. So at that point, I think maybe the coordinator should have taken notes and just restarted the lobby with the grid order.
Well,
But man, this game is very hard to predict when the glitches are happening.
but it's all part and parcel of how Cody's always gives us games initially. It takes a few months, if not a lot of months, for them to stabilize the game.
Yep.
But let's be
So-
honest, this year's game has been a bit more of a mess than the previous editions.
True that. True that. We were all really happy with how when the game initially came before the season and doing a lot of online lobbies, I must say. We were happy with how the cars physics was, how the curves had become a little more strict because it was unrealistic how much curve you could use in the previous games. But
Yeah, I
now
mean,
with
I
that,
do agree. Like when the beta version was out, like a few of us in the IRC, we got access to the beta program, and we were all very impressed by how quick the load times were, how the cars were performing, how the curb physics were, and it was all really good. But then when the game launched, the multiplayer servers were
true, true.
questionable,
Yes.
to
So
say the least.
the multiplayer is what has actually brought in down that good hype that we had for this game, to be honest, because new
Yes.
cars, new type of physics, it's an understeery car by nature.
Absolutely.
The setups make more sense. You don't have to always do right, right, left, left in suspension geometry anymore.
No more 50 brake bias and
Yes.
unlimited turning.
Yes.
No more 50% diff on throttle and off throttle. So yeah, a lot of this.
It's also caused some difference in strategy because the ERS is quite different this year. Like, it's not like he can adjust the modes or something.
Well-
And I mean, not the ERS, the fuel mode. I meant to say.
Exactly. I was gonna tell the
Fuel
fuel
mode,
modes.
yes.
Fuel modes are not under control. So for me,
And the ERS does, well, it does remain for a bit longer. It's not as, it
Kind of
doesn't
compensated
drain
a
as
bit,
much.
I would say.
Exactly.
Yeah.
it seems to deploy a little more cleverly compared to the previous game. The fuel definitely causes some changes in people's driving styles. For me, especially, to take an example, for my driving style, I'm quite throttle happy, and it looked like the fuel wasn't enough for me at certain points. I either had to take more fuel than my competitors, or I would have to start being a little more lenient with my throttle and coast a bit, because I would end up going into low fuel mode on my last lap always.
But again, one thing is like you cannot take more fuel and go full rich most of the time. That's also not possible. You will end up
Yeah, that's
having
also
around
there.
2 laps or 3 laps. Of
Yeah, you
extra
can't
fuel.
just burn away the fuel. It's
Yeah,
going to
yeah.
be a constant flow rate. So, yeah, it's a
I'm not
very
sure about
different
that.
kind of a strategy. Yeah.
I'm not sure about that. It's not a constant flow rate. I think it's just that the car takes care of it. It decides
What I
when
meant
you
to say
need
is
use.
like what I meant to say is like you don't have a control over the how much fuel you can
Absolutely.
let it go. Yeah.
Absolutely, no questions in that. Oh well, interesting start to our first race for
Promising,
season
I
7.
would say.
At least the
Promising.
qualifying session proved to be a great harbinger for what's to come.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
It was a-
absolutely. I mean, I would definitely say the coordinators have done a brilliant job in picking out the tier for this one because, man, what a qualifying performance there. I mean, the top 16 are within a second of each other. I mean, that's a very competitive grid as far as
Absolutely.
hot laps are concerned.
I'm sure even the two drivers we are leaving out, that 17th and 18th. I guess it was on Aston and I don't remember.
I think it
which
was
the other.
Rocker and I'm not sure. I'm not sure
It
with
was
Rocker or someone.
Alphabot and Alphabot was last and
Yeah, Alphabet
Oh.
is DNF'd, so
Yeah. So Alphabot and I think it was Monk in the
Yeah.
Aston. I'm sure they were just a little off color or had some issues, but they are really fast drivers. We can vouch for that. We've seen the previous performances.
Yep.
So yep, it's
or
gonna
maybe
be.
maybe they were playing the safe game.
well, you never know. You can't really tell it because we've seen a lot of clever play from a lot of drivers over the few seasons. I've been able to see at least in IRC. So, well, interesting call over there.
I have news that the lobby will be restarted again, and Kapil is the new host. I think there were some host issues with the previous lobby, but
Hey,
Well, that's a new issue we're having. But yeah, it will be taken care of because we have a nice team, a back-end team in IRC, the IRC team as we call it, dedicated bunch of boys, and in the future it's open to girls as well. I'm sorry to say that. And we'll also, I mean, it's a lot of work they put into the stream, the thumbnails, the editorials, the videos that you see, the teasers for the season, the telemetry that you see, the telemetry team, excellent job. I mean, there's a lot of things. The website we have for the sign-up process shows us our results. It's like an archive for all of our past seasons. All of this is done by the dedicated bunch of people in IRC team, and yep, it's well, thanks to them, we're able to go strong even now, 7 seasons into the existence of IRC as a league. So, considering all of this, I think all 4 of us are in the tier 1 grid, if I'm correct?
Yes.
no, I'm not.
Deepak isn't, okay. So, I mean, looking at all of this, how do you guys think it's gonna be tomorrow? You guys wanna share and be nice to me and help me and
Interesting.
be open?
I have interesting concern.
Well. We are competitors at the end of the day. I don't mind a little bit of secrecy.
Okay, again, to compete, we need to finish the game. True that. It's gonna be a tough few initial races of the season. I think, considering how the game's being with us, so we'll have to wait and watch how it goes. But it's gonna be interesting, definitely. So, Moto, wanted to ask you something. You raced. Oh, wait, let me just cut you off there. I think Dipanshu's here. Hi, Dipanshu.
Yes, so how is it going, guys?
Well, we
Not so
definitely
good.
were having fun till the end of quali.
Yeah,
yeah.
for sure, but yeah, this game never seems to disappoint, sort of, kind of. We are trying our level best. The full IRC team is on it to start the new session as soon as possible. Again, for Monza, we did receive a lot of complaints before as well that there can be 1 or 2 desync issues which we faced. Previous lobby, I was the host. Now someone else is being the host for the next lobby to see if that lobby desync issue is mitigated. But yeah, we are trying our best to get on board as soon as possible. We do realize that some people might need to go for dinner as well since it is 9 p.m. IST. So
Let's
it's a
talk
big,
about it.
yeah, it's a big tight situation we are in. But definitely the initial lobby restart did not help us. We started off the race at 8:30 because of another lobby issue.
Yes.
So that was the thing that did not help us, and this is also definitely not helping us. But yeah, apart from that, I hope you guys are doing well in the commentary box. So have you gone through the chat? I believe a lot of supporters are there for Banath here in the grid.
Yes.
Well, when you have some
Celebrities, I would say.
celebrities in the grid, we have to expect that it's gonna be like that. But yeah, we're not giving as much attention to the chat, but from now on we will. Apologies for that. Even though we've been keeping a good eye on it.
Yeah, in these times when we are waiting for the lobby to be restarted, you can just go through the chat and
So
just have
Propi,
a
just
talk with a
enlighten us,
couple of.
like, is it only is it the quali is also getting restarted?
No.
or
So all the quali grid will be the same. So all the position finishers will retain their position. In the last race, 2 people had desync issue. One was Electrip and one was Solo. So these 2 people were reported to have desync issues. Apart from that, everyone was fine. So hopefully today in this next race also everyone is fine. We are right now setting the grid. The lobby is already up. Drivers have already joined in. We are just setting the quali grid based on the qualifying positions that they finished in. So we are just setting the custom grid, which should be done in the next 1 minute or so, and we should directly hop onto the race itself.
We wish for Ferrari drivers as of now.
Yes.
It's gonna be a tough call to get everyone on board at this time, like you mentioned, Dipanshu. So hopefully everyone comes back and races. We have 19 people in the lobby. I guess everyone has come back.
Yes, everyone has joined the lobby. There is one guy who has joined extra, which we have still not figured out, because I believe in the last session there were 17 drivers, not 18 drivers, not 19. But yeah, let's see.
All right, so interaction for the viewers we have today. We currently have about 38 viewers on live. We did reach somewhere around 69. Lol, wink, wink. So yeah. So what about podium predictions? You guys must have seen the qualifying. And I think that was an interesting, very close qualifying. You guys have any kind of podium predictions for today? Put your top 3 drivers, P1, 2, 3 respectively, in the chat. And well, we'll give you a cookie if you get it right, probably. So that's gonna be there. Do put in your predictions into the chat. We are keeping an eye on it.
Okay, you guys carry on. Meanwhile, I will make sure the session is started ASAP.
Thank you, sir. We'll have a look at that.
Thanks for the updates, and I hope Dipanshu got to enjoy his pizza. I was telling he was ordering a pizza, and well, this thing happens. I just hope he gets time enough.
He's definitely going to be motivated to, he'll have the energy to get the lobby straight up because of that food going into him. Well, the countdown has started for the lobby to start, for the race to start and people to grid up.
Yep,
So-
fingers crossed.
And yes, we do have a lot of Banat fans. Banat for the win seems to be up there. There are some nice predictions coming in from a few people. We'll keep a track of that. And we will also, I mean, you guys will definitely be seeing the race at the end as well. So let's wait and watch how it goes. So again, people have to remember to take their setups. Very important. I've done that a few times in lobby restarts when we're going to race directly. I forget to take the setup and that messes up big time. You have to drive without a setup. So everyone will be getting their setups right, their fuel loads right, getting their head straight again because they already went through another race start.
Excuse me, guys. Like Shivam Sharda was like driving a Ferrari, right?
Yes, he
Yes,
was trying
he
a
was.
Ferrari. Okay, what's going on?
So let's go through and see who is driving the Ferraris then. I see one driver of
Okay,
the
see,
Ferrari.
I think they didn't
Lals
select
was
the car.
driving the Mercedes before.
Yeah, they didn't select the car before reading him. I guess so. Yeah.
Looks like it.
That's bad news.
Okay, we've got some medium starters. We've got Rocker, BK, and Monk starting on mediums. I think they are betting on some first lap chaos.
Well, it's going to be interesting.
But then again, without the safety car, you can't really capitalize on it big time. Like people will dive into the pits and you'll have a free run, but that's out of the question right now. But still, I mean, there can be some positions gained. Let's see.
So there
We'll
are
have to
no
wait and
incidents or pit stops as of now, but yeah, we'll see.
Absolutely. Thank you, Evil Dog. Very useful insight over there. Oh, someone in the chat has pointed it out for us. We have reached 500 subscribers. But
Ooh.
nonetheless, 5 lights on. Let's hope it's a clean getaway. And it is not. The
Not
Haas
a
of
getaway.
Dwarjan had a good getaway. But okay, that's so only one driver had a bad start over there, I guess. But the rest had a normal start. And Violent Gandhi got a good start.
Yeah, I saw a car glitching through there. Or was it hitting the wall? Okay. I'm sorry, man. This is.
That is interesting.
Yeah, that
was
needs to be
close
clipped.
to the Hamilton. That was close to a Hamilton Verstappen incident in Rio. We were actually betting on this.
Yeah, I saw his car like violently moving across the track as if it was glitched or something. Very weird.
But Shivam is already out of the race. Joining over there, and someone's trying to avoid him. That's Lal's.
Okay,
Just
BK19
on time.
does not have a front wing. Oh,
Oh. Oh, there's another Aston Martin spun over there.
That's Violent Gandhi. He was in the lead. In fact, he was P2 because Solo got the move done in turn 1, brake late and got it.
Luckily,
but
no
Violent
damage.
Gandhi is at the back of the grid. Like you mentioned, I think he does not have any damage.
oh, Solo
Yeah.
is having a solo race in P1.
Good one over there. Pun definitely intended, I'm sure. But he has a 2-second lead on Speedlust, who started in P5 if I'm not wrong, and he's up in P2 right now. Abhi is in P3. Banath is in P4. Someone in the chat had mentioned Banath should be in P5. And I think he's close to where you predicted, so, and well, that's a good one. Lot of chaos, definitely. But yeah, it is a